proclamations and resolutions to order. The first item on the agenda is a proclamation for Dave Anderson, requested by Commissioner Catherine Denenberg. Commissioner Denenberg, go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anderson County, Tennessee Board of Commissioners, Resolution number 20-11-836. Resolution honoring Dave Anderson Sr. Whereas Oak Ridge resident Dave Anderson has devoted his entire life to serving his country and his community with unparalleled bravery and devotion to his fellow man. And whereas 28 years Air Force veteran who retired as a Chief Master Sergeant, he supervised the Knox Military Entrance Processing Station and served on the Administrative Nuclear Inspection Team. Prior to retirement, he served as the Director of Medical Readiness. And whereas from 1997 to present, Dave has worked for the Tennessee Department of Children's Services, where he served in various roles from case manager, program coordinator, protective services manager, regional investigator, and supervisor for the DCS Internal Affairs. And whereas Dave remains very active in the Oak Ridge community and Anderson County in many volunteer roles, including president of the Oak Ridge Anderson County NAACP, host of the 73rd State, NAACP Convention, Green McAdoo Cultural Center Board, and secretary for the EMS Audit Advisory Committee. And whereas continued to be a distinguished Toastmaster and has performed over 100 Toastmaster presentations and acted as chief judge while serving as the District 63 area governor and was awarded Toastmaster of the Year. And whereas Dave is an accomplished and critically acclaimed grill master with no rival when it comes to smoked catfish and fried ribs. Many Oak Ridge and Anderson County residents have been invited to the home of Dave and Odessa, where friendship, love, and good food are ever present. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Anderson County Board of Commissioners, meeting in regular session the 16th day of November, 2020, that we honor Dave Anderson Sr. for his tremendous accomplishments in life, his military service, his dedication to the less fortunate children in our society, his advancement of minorities, and above all, his love of Oak Ridge, Anderson County, and his beautiful family. Be it further resolved that we proclaim November 20th, 2020 as Dave Anderson Sr. Day in Anderson County for his continued commitment to our great county. Our prayers are with you always. Resolved, duly adopted, and approved this 19th day of November, 2020. Terry Frank, County Commissioner. Joshua Anderson, Chair of Anderson County Commission, and Jeff Cole, Anderson County Clerk. Thank you, Mr.
Commissioner Denenberg. Next item on the agenda is a resolution honoring Ralph Daniels, presented by Commissioner Isabel and myself.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, while you're making your way to the podium, I will be delivering this to Dave Anderson tomorrow personally.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, tonight I have the privilege of telling you about a man who left a very positive impact on our community up in the Briceville community. And I'm sure each commissioner has someone in their district that leaves a mark, a large footprint because of what they do. Before I read the proclamation, I'll just tell you a small story, and I'm sure each of you can identify. I was eating one night at one of our local restaurants in Rocky Top, Glenn's Pizza. If you haven't been there, I suggest you give it a try. And my friend Ralph was sitting there eating, and he motioned for me to come over and talk to him. Well, being a commissioner, a lot of times when that happens, someone has an issue, someone has a complaint, they need us to help them with something, which is our job. Don't mind a bit doing that. But I assumed that Ralph was going to bring something to my attention. So I sat down and I said, yeah, Ralph, what's going on, buddy? He said, I need some help, Shane. I thought, well, here it comes. He said, I need to go to Scott County and pick up a bunch of food for a couple of needy families up in the Briceville area, and I need some help to go get it. And when he said that, commissioners, I felt about that small. That's the kind of man that this was. And that's the kind of loss that our community of Briceville has suffered. But Briceville's loss is heaven's gain. Resolution number 20-11-835. Posthumous resolution honoring Ralph Edward Daniels. Whereas Anderson County is home to many wonderful residents who enjoy giving back to their fellow citizens and community. One such person was Briceville's very own Ralph Daniels. And whereas Ralph held many titles and received many accolades during his life, but he will be remembered most for his commitment to the Briceville community and devotion to his family. And whereas our dear friend was called home by the Lord on July 24, 2020, but left a legacy that will always be remembered by the Briceville community. And whereas he was a lifetime resident of Anderson County and a member of the Briceville community since he was 6 years old. His volunteer service included positions as a board member for the Briceville Volunteer Fire Department, member of the County Bear Board, and Board of Zoning Appeals. And whereas, although he stayed busy serving his community in many capacities, his favorite role in life was spending time with his cherished family, who he surrounded with love and devotion. And whereas Ralph was married for 41 years to the former Kathy Braden, and between the two brought 3 beautiful children into this world, Shannon, Sherry, Shamika, and 13 loving grandchildren. And whereas his granddaughter, Shamika Delt, was a member of the first graduating class of cadets for the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, where she currently holds the senior rank of lieutenant. Now therefore be it resolved by the Anderson County Board of Commissioners meeting in regular session the 16th day of November 2020, that we honor our dear friend Ralph Daniels for putting his community and family first throughout his life. Without a doubt, the Briceville community in Anderson County will always be deeply indebted to Ralph Edward Daniels for his service to our great county. Be it further resolved that we declare November 26, 2020 as Ralph Edwards Daniels Day in Anderson County, in honor of and to give eternal thanks to this fine citizen whom forever will be remembered in Anderson County. Resolved, duly adopted and approved this 19th day of November 2020, signed Terry Frank, Anderson County Mayor, Joshua Anderson, Chairman, Anderson County Commission, and Jeff Cole, Anderson County Clerk. And folks, his family's in the audience here with us tonight.
Ralph is one of these people that done for everybody else. He come and he worked for me at the shop for a little while, and he would come sick and try to work every day. I mean, he just felt the need to help everybody that he run into. Thank you.
I'll just address the family. Ralph was a beautiful person, and I'm sorry. He used to always come to my office and just sit in there and say something encouraging. Thank you for sharing him with our community. And I can say without a doubt, he had unbridled love for all of you. That's all he talked about. So thank you. Thank you. And my heartfelt sympathy for your loss. And I know this is big for Stephen.
Sure.
I met Ralph at a fish fry. And I will tell you this, there's pop pay. I don't know what he called it, but I'm telling you, quarterly, without a doubt, he showed up at the sheriff's office. And that would be the lunch for about a dozen. And to the point that my doctor, when he would bring those things, my lab works would change. But they were absolutely delicious. And I'm gonna tell you, I absolutely love that man. There was nobody that I've ever met more genuine. He was just the bomb.
I want to say something.
Yes, sir.
I served on the board of zoning appeals for Fred. He was an alternate for several months. We didn't need him, but he would come as an alternate. And then finally, we did need him. He was elected, appointed, and elected to the board of zoning appeals. He always came prepared. When we had someone out in the county, a citizen that needed help with the zoning appeals, Ralph would go out and look at the property. He would look to see where the driveway was, if it had a septic. Ralph came always prepared. And I've chaired that committee for several years, but I would ask Ralph, is this good? Yeah, this is good. So Ralph was a good member of our board of zoning appeals.
Wow. Folks, thank you so very much for honoring us with this proclamation. We're often kind of taken back when we hear of things that Dad went out to do that he never really spoke of, constantly giving of himself. But I'll never forget when this virus has been terrible on a lot of folks. But when we were, we had Dad cast up on the screen at Mom's place, and about the only thing I could tell him when he was passing is, Dad, you're my hero. And if I could ever be like anybody in my life, it would be like my dad. And so this is a true honor. And we want to say thank you from the depths of our heart, from the Daniels family to all of you guys. Thank you. Thank you so genuinely. God bless you guys.
And the next item on the agenda is a resolution honoring Marion Young by Mayor Frank, Sheriff Parker, and Chief Richard Parker.
I'd like to start out by saying that it's an honor to be here before the commission. It's really a pleasure and privilege to honor Mary Ann with this resolution. It's Anderson County, Tennessee Board of Commissioners, resolution number 20-11-830. A resolution recognizing Mary Ann Young for her years of service to the people of Anderson County. Whereas Mary Ann Young has served as the director of the Alternative to Incarceration for Anderson County for almost 6 years. When Ms. Young first came to work at the Anderson County Detention Facility, she met with a number of individuals and researched ways to help those citizens incarcerated at the county jail. And whereas what started as 3 programs quickly blossomed into more until Ms. Young found herself overseeing 20 ongoing classes and working with PSI Probation, ETHRA, Workforce Development, Ridgeview Behavioral Health, Anderson County Adult Education, Child Advocacy Center, and others to help incarcerated citizens plan for and accomplish their goals. And whereas since becoming Alternative to Incarceration Director, there have been 178 classes completed inside the detention facility. The classes are approximately 8 weeks in length and focus on the following topics: how to become a better parent, dealing with anger issues, how to have healthy relationships, overcoming substance abuse issues, and more. Whereas since 2015, there have been 819 men and women graduate so far and receive certificates through the Alternatives to Incarceration program. This includes both sentenced and non-sentenced state and county inmates. Of the 819 program graduates, 462 sentenced individuals have graduated from the main core program, Moral Recognition Therapy, MRT. Over the last 5 years, the MRT graduates have shown a men's success rate of 54% with a recidivism rate of 46% and a women's success rate of 50%. And whereas the Alternatives to Incarceration program has also helped 19 men and women receive their HISET, formerly known as GED diplomas, over the last 5 years. Additionally, there have been 133 men and women participate in the National Career Readiness Certification Exam, which has assisted many in getting jobs upon their release from jail. And whereas Ms. Young has seen a number of lives transformed in powerful ways, but she also knows work remains to continue planting seeds of encouragement and hope for those incarcerated individuals who have yet to break the cycle of recidivism. Now, therefore, it be resolved that Anderson County Mayor Terry Frank, Anderson County Sheriff Russell Barker, and members of the Anderson County Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize Mary Ann Young for her passionate and selfless service, her ability to bring together stakeholders to advance this worthy program, and her dedication to find so many ways to help those citizens incarcerated find new paths and more productive ways to live their lives. Signed, 16th day of November 2020, Josh Anderson, Commission Chairman, Terry Frank, Anderson County Mayor, Russell Barker, Anderson County Sheriff, Jeff Cole, County Clerk.
So, for those of you who don't know Mary Ann, she is hands down the most passionate person I've ever met in my life. The first time I met her was at a domestic violence symposium, and she scared me to death. Because I did not want to follow her, because it was heartfelt like I've never seen. And you talk about someone who absolutely cares about people and wants to see them do better. She has almost single-handedly been what Anderson County has done to combat racism. And no matter how difficult it gets, no matter how many, no matter what's going on, she stays the course. And we are so thankful for you and so grateful that you chose to come work with us. And we have no doubt that you're still going to be around. Even though you're going to take a retirement, we have no doubt you'll still be dropping in. Plus, I can almost guarantee you we will be caught. Thank you.
Well, I would just like to say, the sheriff didn't say it any better. Wear your heart on your sleeve. I love that about you. And, you know, it's the same like the couple in the front, all the ripples that you created. You have invested in people. And may the Lord bless you for that. I know he will. And there's going to be lives that are changed that you'll never even know about, but it's your investment to make that difference, Mary Ann, and thank you so much. Thank you.
I got a little bit different story about Mary Ann. First time I met her, she scared me. We had hired her from the California Department of Corrections. I was scared to death. I thought, oh, no, how's this going to work? But she went through the training, just like every jail officer we have down there. She got pepper sprayed just like the rest of them did. She went through defensive tactics. I'll show y'all that video sometime. It's hilarious. But anyway, she got to know the job and got to know the inmates and what our goals were, what we tried to accomplish. No one could have done it better. It took 180-degree turn from where it started. And I'm so grateful, not only to Mary Ann, I'm grateful to the Lord for sending Mary Ann to us when this program could be successful the way it is. Because it started off kind of rocky. Mary Ann pulled it up out of the ditch and kept it going forward. So we're very proud to have her. We're going to miss her, and the sheriff's right, we will be calling.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She happens to be my in-law's neighbor. I didn't know that until we were doing the background check on her, and I was driving to the house, and I thought, this address looks awful familiar. And we were right next door, so that made things a little more simple.
Mary Ann, again, thank you for your service to the county. You've been a great employee, and we're going to miss you. You're going to be this family. So, you have the floor if you need.
Mary Ann, you go to Toby, third thing, they can't hear you.
I just want to say to God be, to God be all the glory. I couldn't have been able to do this without the support. I've never worked with a greater group of people. Professional, always respectful. I've always been treated the best that I've ever been treated, I think, in any job I ever had in all of my life. And I just want to thank every one of you, every one of you. And this is a team effort. There's no one-man show here, sir, respectfully. You know that. I couldn't have done it without the team that I was blessed with from the beginning. Volunteers. No one was paid. They came and they volunteered their time. I couldn't have asked for a better group of people. And I just thank you, county commissioners. I thank you for your support. I thank you, Mayor Frank. I've already thanked you. Sheriff, thank you so much, Chief. Captain, and everybody else at that facility. We got a job. We got a lot of work to do in this community. But I know that the seeds have been planted. And I know that they're going to bear forth fruit that will last. And all we do is we plant those seeds and we do our best. I love you guys, and I am going to be around. Thank you so much.
Commissioners, if there is nothing else under proclamations or resolutions, then we will be in recess until 6:30.